Andy Stevenson for SevereMMA, standing in SBG Ireland alongside the game, Pedro Carvalho. A bit of a party atmosphere almost here with the music on in SBG Ireland. A lot of people here. Big fight coming up against Mads Burnell, Bellator Dublin, Friday, September 23rd. How are you?
I'm great, I'm buzzing. It's like pretty much, the hard part is pretty much done now. And now ahead it's the fun part, you know, so I'm looking forward. And like I said before, last year was very special for me, but I have no doubt that this year will be not only even more for me, but I think I have this feeling that it's going to be a great night overall.
Yeah, let's talk about the fight firstly. This is a fight against Mads Burnell that I feel like has been talked about for a long time. The two of you have been jawing back and forth on social media for a long time. What's going on? Like, what is the emotion, I suppose, towards Mads Burnell? Why is it taking this long to get this fight as well?
I like feeling wise, like it's nothing. It's just business. But it was just after my Vishal fight. At the time, this was before he fought with Adam Boric, and he was kind of the man of the moment. And I said, like, he's one of the guys that I want to face. And then he saw the interview, and he replied, and we kind of verbally agreed at the time. But then Bellator wasn't interested in doing the fight because they wanted to put him against Mads Burnell for the #1 contender spot, which I understand. And I think that's why it took so long, because then he got scheduled, then I got scheduled, but all that matters is that now we are scheduled. Now the #3 in the rankings is right there for me, and 100% September 23rd I'm taking it.
Yeah, I was watching him train with Coach Dave Jones, hitting the pads there. You were doing a cardio session too, but you're not just training here now. You told me that you're living here.
Yeah, like I did that on my previous camp, and it's just like I'm taking the whole day slogan on the true meaning of it, you know, 24/7. That's it. I'm living it, you know, because if I want to get in the next stage and the next level, I need to, you know, to dig deep, be smarter, but dig deep, you know, because of training. And I can feel the results coming out of every single training, every single week of training. And you know, I don't want to sound cliche, but I do feeling that I'm a better fighter, not because I'm training harder, because I always train harder, but mainly because in this camp I try to have a smart approach instead of just hard work approach.
Yeah.
Because hard work, everyone works hard, you know what I mean? So it was this, I was like, okay, I work hard. I know if we have to go to those deep waters, I feel fine there. I have nothing else to prove. What I really have to do is having a smarter and smarter approach. And I felt, since I kind of changed my approach of training, that I started to change as a fighter and become a much better fighter. And I'm buzzing to show that in Trarina.
Yeah, and like, just to clarify, when I say you're living here, like, you're in the dorms here in SBG, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
What is it like?
It's good crack, you know, with the lads there, and every day we are kind of taking the piece out of each other's, and then we go to the mats, and you know, it's good crack, good atmosphere, and it's good because for me it's very good because I always was this guy that it's very important for me my own space, and that's why I was always very hesitate to kind of share, you know, rooms and a place with other people.
Was there an adjustment period where you had to kind of get used to being around your teammates literally 24/7?
Yeah, no, but you were like, surprisingly, from day one that I started to do, I felt very good because I also, you know, I have the lucky to share the room with closest teammates.
Who are you sharing a room with?
The Italian lads. So you know what I mean. The cultures, you know, Portuguese culture and Italian culture are quite similar. So it
must be very difficult for you, though. You know, you have a family at home at I'm going to butcher this. Guimarães in Portugal. Like, you've small kids at home. It must be difficult being away as well.
Oh, it is very hard, but at the same time, it's such a big fuel because I'm not anymore fighting, to prove that I'm the best in the world, to be world champion. I'm fighting for their future. I'm fighting for provide to them something that I never dreamed to have when I was a kid. And the fact that I have those in my hands, that the only thing that I have to do is do my job, go out there, beat these guys and do what I love. It's just like, I got goosebumps only thinking, and I feel blessed, I feel grateful. But of course, it is very hard, especially now. Benjamin, my oldest, is gonna start his second year in kindergarten. Carolina start walking. She's starting talking now, and it's hard. But at the same time, I don't take it as like a bad thing. I take it like a super positive fuel for me. That I go in there and I don't give one bollocks to the other guy. Whatever I have to do, I will do it to get the victory and get that check and bring to my family and provide the best possible life that I can.
Yeah, we've talked a number of times, and one of the things we talked previously about is just getting that consistency. Obviously, having previously fought for the title, your last fight out against Piotr Niedzielski, close decision. You were unhappy with it, were you?
I was pretty frustrated, but in the end of the day, I'm the one to blame. I'm the one to blame because even though I said it and I say it that I don't agree with the decision, I get it because, for example, in one side, I had judges coming after the fight saying, for me, you won. But in the other hand, I have like close teammates of mine that we saw the fight and told me like, for me, I think I would give to the guy. And one way or the other, I respect because first round was Piotr round, third was clearly mine, so it was pretty much who you give the second round. And even though I think I had way more arguments for me, he has those takedowns, so I kind of understand. And in the end of the day, I will not blame anyone because I'm the one to blame. It should be my job to go out there and leave no doubts. And I left doubts, and that's why it was a close decision. So I'm the one to blame, but it was clearly a super good lesson. A super good lesson because, I feel that I have way more skill set than him. I'm not, taking any merit, but with a large or no skill set, he used it what he has in a very smart way, and he gave me a very good lesson, especially on that first round. He gave me a very good lesson that it's not about who's the toughest. It's not about who's in there more willing to fight. It's actually who use it better, the skills and the tools that he has, that he has, and it was a good opening. That is not about having a lot of tools. It's about using well the tools you have, and it was a great lesson for me to come here and, like I told you, I have a different approach in my training, a smarter approach in my training, in my sparrings, in everything, and I feel the results. I can see the results. Everyone can see the results and be told. So I feel amazing.
Yeah, and like despite the lack of consistency, I suppose, in the official results, you still have a great opportunity in front of yourself here. Number 3 versus number 5. What do you feel that a win against a guy like Mads Burnell will do for you? We've got Pipples scheduled to face Adam Boric a week later, so there will be a title fight coming up. But do you think this fight, a win, could put you towards that title contention again, or are you a bit away from that?
Like, of course, I'm not gonna straight to title shot, but I do think that logically, as I'll beat the number 3. I think logically what should happen, and it might happen, of course I don't want to talk about possible futures because my focus is right now on Mads Burnell, but beating Mads Burnell, what makes logical is me facing the winner of Jeremy Kennedy and Aaron Pico for the number 1 contender spot. I think that makes
you'd like the winner of Pico versus Kennedy.
Yeah, because I want the fights that make me get in there in the title contention, and if we think about it, me beating Mads Burnell, and for title contention, who's left? Because AJ McKee right now is in lightweight. Boris is now fighting with Patricio. So pretty much who's left? It's me winning to Mads Burnell and the winner of that fight with Jeremy Kennedy and Aaron Pico. So I think it makes more than logic. We fight the possible winner of that fight, fighting for the number one contender. But of course, Bellator, has their own interests. I don't know. Nothing is for sure. But I think that if we think in a very logical way, that's the fight to make.
Who do you think wins between Pico and Jeremy Kennedy?
I think Pico wins. I think stylistically, it's a fight that favors a lot Pico, because Pico's background of wrestling, we don't need to talk about it, and Jeremy Kennedy is more of a grappler, and Pico has a better boxing, striking than Jeremy has. Surprise can happen. Jeremy Kennedy is a tough guy. He's a kind of a scrumpy grappler, which can create some things in the grappling attack of Pico. But I do see Pico taking the win.
Yeah, you obviously fought Patricio Pitbull before already. Who do you see winning that one? Do you see him reigning supreme as champion, or can Adam Boric get the job done?
I believe that Boric can do it, but if I have to bet, I'll bet in Patricio, because styles, because Boric is a guy that he doesn't, which he does very well. He doesn't like to take a lot of risks. He plays smart. He uses very well his tools, but at the same time, you have on the other side of the cage a guy that is also like that. Patricio is a sniper, and those kind of fights, I think, favors very well Patricio. So I think, especially in the five-round fights with the experience of Patricio, I think he gets it done by decision.
Yeah, and we've talked about other fighters, but let's talk about your fight a bit more. For my money, this is arguably fight of the night on paper. A supremely skillful fighter in Mads Burnell. What do you see in him? He was on a great winning streak up until he obviously suffered a loss at the hands of Boric there, but that was his first loss since parting ways with the UFC. What do you see in Mads Burnell as an opponent?
I see, like you said, it is a fight of the night contender for one simple reason. Even though we have our own things, we are very similar stylistically. We are both well-rounded. We have good striking, good submission attacking, good grappling, offense. We both have great cardio. We both like to go forward. So everything is set to be the fight of the night. But at the same time, I see some openings that I know that I can explore. I changed some things in my own game, but that's up to the fight, But
are you keeping those secret, or are you willing to tell us?
Yeah, the secret, the secret is the success of the business. You know what I mean? But
are you coming in here expecting a war with Mads Burnell?
I'm always expecting a war. You know what I mean? Every time I go to a fight, I go mentally prepared for a war. But I told you last year when I fought with Vishal that I told you this is going to be a very tough fight. This is going to be the fight of the night for sure. And I think
it was, for my money.
And it was, and I'll think I'll get a win, but it's going to be a very tough, and it was. This time I feel in my bones that I'm going to finish Mads Burnell in a very impressive way. But at the same time, I don't lose too much time thinking about that. In my brain, in my mind, I go prepare for a 3-round war, like I like it, but I feel it and I see it that I'm going to finish him.
So you said that you're going to finish him there. How do you see yourself getting the job done? Like, what skills do you possess that are going to cause him the trouble and get the job done ultimately?
I've been training to finish him striking or grappling. I've been seeing him, I've been studying him very closely. I've been watching him for years. Even before he He went to UFC because years ago, you know, on vacations, I used to go to Copenhagen on camp and on vacations.
Have you trained? You've gotten trained together?
No, for like lucky or unlucky.
Okay.
Because I've been in both places that he trained, and actually we never crossed paths. But so I kind of.
Do you like him, or like what's the vibe between you at the moment?
I don't have nothing against him, you know. He likes to play the funny guy, the jokes, but I can see that he's a good guy. He's okay. I have nothing against him. Well, when the time comes, you know, I intend to break his body, but I have nothing against him. I can see that he's a cool guy. I might, you know, if he wants, I might have a beer in the end or after I beat him. But yeah, I have nothing against him. But like I told you, I've been studying him very closely. I've been very closely trained specific things, and I'm prepared to finish the fight striking or grappling, you know. But at the same time, like I told you, I don't want to lose too much time. You know, what appears. I'm prepared for a war, a bloody war like I like it, but you know, I can see it clean like I want it.
Yeah. Lastly, I know that the Three Arena is a very special place in your heart. You told us after the Vital fight in the post-fight scrum that you got off the bus when you arrived from Portugal just outside the Three Arena. You've called the Dublin fans the pound for pound best fans in the world.
Not only me.
How excited are you to make that walk into Three Arena again?
It's always a blessing in the skies to fight in Three Arena. You know, I think, you know, the other fighters around the world, or in this case specifically in Bellator, that never fought in Ireland, they don't know what they are missing. You know, it's something else. Especially you being the home crowd guy, it's amazing. And it was the first time in my career where, because in my entire career, even though I really like the energy of the atmosphere of the crowd. For me, a fight needs crowds, but boo me or cheer me, it never really affected me until that night. It was the first time where all that cheering, like 10,000 people cheering with me, it was like it really played a big role in dig deeper and deeper and deeper. And you know, I'm buzzing and I'm looking forward to go again in there and top it what it was last year.
You know, with the Irish fans, we've so many fighters that come from abroad to Ireland now to train. Gunny Nelson was one of the fighters who really was kind of adopted by the Irish fans. But there's, you know, it's just naturally some fighters the Irish kind of adopt, some don't. Do you feel the love from the Irish fans so far?
100%. I think after the Vital fight, during and after the Vital fight was kind of visible. The love that I received, and I felt I feel that love since day one. You know, since day one. That's why I carry with so much pride the tricolor flag, because from day one I felt, you know, received, supported, and treated like an Irishman. You know, and I'm living my dream because these people helped me living my dream. So, you know, the very minimum I can do it's represent them the best way I can and lift high their flag.
Yeah. Pedro Carvalho, I think we'll call you from now on. So I appreciate the time. Best of luck, and we'll chat again soon. Friday, September 23rd, Pedro Carvalho and Mads Burnell go head-to-head in a featherweight clash with potential title contention implications here. We've got Peter Queally. Quick pick before we go. Peter Queally versus Benson Henderson. Who wins?
Come on.
How does he? Okay, you're going to say Queally. How does he do it?
I think it will be a 5-round war. I think it will be a 5-round war. You know, we don't need to talk about Ben Henderson. He's a legend in the sport. But there's a thing that Ben Henderson is very technical. He's a very technical guy, and very technical guys doesn't like to get it dirty. And if there's a thing that Peter is good, is getting into the scrap, and he's tough. You know, he's tough as they come. He's one of the toughest guys that I ever met. You know, you can see by his past fights. You know, who goes to fight Russian guys? You know, no one. He's tough as it comes, and I do see Peter getting a decision win on Ben Henderson in Three Arena.
That's the prediction. Pedro Carvalho, Bellator 285, Friday, September 23rd. Tune in.